It's that Bob right here. Ha! Got Bunny Holiday in the building. That's right. I also the homie said. What's happening? What up, sweetie? Playboy. Yeah, there you go. Look. Smooth criminal, the hooligans with freaky side intelligence, the bouncers of the factions, and we ain't the ones to play with. Real hooligans gotta move in silence. We calculated step to overgrow our finances. Ain't patient when it come to what's ours, you gon' pay what you owe. Meet our soldiers in the rabbit hole, will come for your throat. Hooligan code never sold on rising tide, raising posts. If you're a real hooligan, you gotta live by the oath. Playboy mafioso, Bunny McGregor, Playboy stat, be the cutthroat. Respect where you at, or you will lay down, bow pronto. Subbox ain't the one to worry about. If we on you, I'm for real though. We all about our K-Go, live by the hustle. Ready for whatever if you cross all our muscle. Look, Zach, what are we to be but a hooligan? Playboy faction rip proudly with no hesitation.
I tell you numbers don't lie, can't get a piece of our pie. They say the limit is the sky, that's the cost of living life. As a playboy, we don't play, boy. Make our praise, boy, to earn our praise. I tell you numbers don't lie, can't get a piece of our pie. They say the limit is the sky, that's the cost of living life. As a playboy, we don't play, boy. Make our praise, boy, to earn our praise, boy.
Parade hooligan who freaks them with weird signs. When we riding into town, they mistaking us for some giants. Cause we riding on the back of Zuckbots, Gundam style. No mistake, no it's science like it's Attack of the Titans tries. Yes, we be wild, you could bet. Playboys know that life is just a game and we play it the best. We the only ones who's playing with this style and finesse. Of all the weapons in my arsenal, smile be the deadliest. Yes, the star about to blow it like a supernova. Spit a sweet little something like a real Casanova. You know it, a gentleman, a scholar, a gangster and a poet, breaking hearts out there faster than a speeding bullet. Pull it, shoot, hello cutie, how do we do? She got that fire like brother doobie-doo. She reply, hello hoolie, with a smooth melted butter, bet it's smooth. And when she walking out that door, she gon' shout a hoolie hoo.
I tell you numbers don't lie, can't get a piece of our pie. They say the limit is the sky, that's the cost of living life. As a playboy, we don't play, boy. Make our praise, boy, to earn our praise. I tell you numbers don't lie, can't get a piece of our pie. They say the limit is the sky, that's the cost of living life. As a playboy, we don't play, boy. Make our praise, boy, to earn our praise, boy.
Hooligans are in the building, and so is the best hype man since P. Diddy in the 90s. Mr. Skyhopper is here to serve you, the Carrot Gang, to the absolute fullest, as is our team right in front of you right now. Give us a wave.
Hello,
Hey, there
everybody.
you go.
Hey,
First of all, you know what to do.
I missed you, Carrot Gang.
Missed
Like,
you guys.
Retweet, share, comment, absolutely everything within your capability. If the male person comes by, tell them to get on the wait list for My Pet Hooligan. If you see a guy or girl you like in the street and want something to talk to them about and need an icebreaker, go and ask them if they've heard of My Pet Hooligan, and you'll probably be married in 6 months. Big things are brewing as always. Too many big things. Don't even know how to keep track of anything these days, but it's proof you put in the effort and build something good, shed some blood, tears, and perspiration on the way. The phones start ringing off the hook like never before. Everyone wants a piece of My Pet Hooligan because they know we're the truth. And we can't be more proud of our team here who are working their absolute backsides off to deliver the goods. And these are the good goods. These are top shelf shiz right here. And a huge shout out to the top shelf team in the building. I'm not sure Carl slept in like 3 weeks, so
I feel
everyone
sure
send
that he
Carl
is
Toon
not.
some love and tell him you appreciate him. And if you see him in the streets, give him a big juicy hug, and more if you like. That's up to you. You also just heard the first premiere of the Playboys song featuring 2Hop, Bunny Holiday, Metazet, and Lorenz. So give them all a big shout out. Shout out to you as well, Metazet, for getting stuck in on that. You absolutely smashed it. Let us know what you think. We're still making fire music out here, and more to come. I think the soundtrack's going to be a smash in itself. A lot of the feedback, we're putting the game out there, and a lot of people saying, "Oh my God, the soundtrack's so good." So big shout out to you two, Hop, for putting in the initiative to really kind of get that started. Taylor Swift feature definitely got to happen soon. I'm not sure how it'll fit in, but I'm sure we'll make it work. It's been a little minute since we last spoke. I bet you're all happy to see some of these faces. And I know the guys sitting in front of you are happy to speak to you again. We've got Mr. Wesley Snipes back in the building too, fresh off paternity leave.
What up,
a new
guys?
dad, new level of hunger. He's got kids to feed now. Dude's
Got to make this work.
Dude's operating on a level 150 right now. No stopping this guy. I've never seen this level of fire before.
Nah, I'm
and
so happy to
ambition
be
in my
back.
life. Dude's on his way to achieve greatness. How you feeling, Wes?
Appreciate that, Skyhopper. I'm super
there you
happy
go.
to be back. Us and baby Jack and the rest of the family, everybody's healthy, everybody's doing well. And by the way, huge thank you, Carrot Gang. I know a lot of you guys gave me love and support, so I really, really appreciate you guys reaching out. So I love you all. Happy to be back. And first day back in the office, I walked into a meeting and Colin's just like, welcome back, Wes. There's a lot happening right now, guys. There's a lot going on.
I've got to say though, Wes, you got stuck in straight away, so big shout out to you,
I
man.
appreciate it.
No rest. Quick recap. A few weeks ago, we launched the closed early access Alpha 2.0 Turbo. We've had over a 30% retention rate on the first 4 weeks, which is amazing, especially when we're this early. Average is usually around 20%. Feedback's been rolling in, content's been rolling in, lots of new faces popping up. Before I go any further, actually want to give a shout out to everyone who's making dope content right now. Forgive me if I miss you, but shout out to 64 World, SVJ Dunk, 6967, Stash, Paisan, Gamer Chick, Lord Victor, Yellow Panther, Fankies, Colby, Ryan Bull, Clock, Drop Bear Dad, Dub, Real Jonah Blake. Is there a fake Jonah Blake? I don't know. Dennis Jacobs. Hope I've not missed anyone, but if I have, much love to you all. We're now in a position where we have launched our first patch. Drum roll, please. We're calling this one Alpha Early Access Alpha 2.0 Twin Turbo. There you go.
Pre-alpha.
What a name. The naming department needs a raise out
Turbo.
here, honestly. They're coming in clutch with these names. But, having released Alpha 2.0 Turbo, what we've learned is we know we're going in the right direction. We know we've got solid products. We know we've got a solid IP. We know our music is on another level. And we know we're going all the way to the top. This is still early, and we're still developing. And it's a testament to this is we've just, a few weeks later, launched the first patch. We're already building on some of the feedbacks that's been coming in, so keep that coming in. And this is the first of many as we ready ourselves for a public alpha in the coming weeks, where most of the focus is right now. So the plan, if anybody kind of joined in on the last reverse AMA, is public alpha, then public beta, and then which will be feature complete, and then we'll roll into season 1. I'm just watching the game on the side as well. I've got to say this new cinematic look is amazing. It kind of makes you feel like you're playing a cartoon or like an animated feature.
Exactly.
So I want to definitely touch on some of this, Colin, because I know you kicked some ass to make that happen. But before we go ahead, just give us a quick hype check. How you all feeling? Where's the vibe meters at right
Let's
now?
go.
Amazing.
Vibes here.
It's
Oh,
Thursday
having
morning.
great.
We're fucking
Thursday
stoked.
morning, yeah, it's normally
Thursday. Thursday
it's
feels like
it's
a
normally
Friday.
a Friday.
Right? Oh,
But-
there's energy in the room. It's popping in here too.
Yeah, it is.
Feels good.
All right, there you go. As long as Kevin feels good, we know we're in a good place.
Because
All
I
right,
don't
so today
always.
we're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about the new patch, what's coming next, some of our work honing in on the AI tech and more. We've been really busy working on the game, busy on new partnerships, new token integrations and more. There's a lot to deliver. We can't stop and won't stop. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with you, Kevin. New patch is out. Talk to us about it.
Oh, there's a ton of stuff in. I mean, well, in this new patch, I mean, of course, the lighting is totally different. It's just light years better than what was in the previous. There's a day-night cycle going on. Tons and tons and tons of improvements under the hood. So, like the character movement, the jumping is a lot smoother. It interacts with the abilities better, so you can do stuff that you just couldn't do before. Just all kinds of like interactions. I mean, you look at how this melee is totally
It's clean.
revamped now. Like
Totally.
you're not meleeing past your opponents. I mean, there's too much to count. I mean, there's so much stuff that's been going on. In part because Carl just does not sleep, and
Yeah.
so like I'll leave in the evening and then come in the morning and there's like 9 more Perforce submissions from Carl. through the night. But it's all this kind of stuff, and like a lot of back end stuff also that's going in, like getting it talking to the online services back end, which is less exciting for you guys, but
Really
lets us
substantial.
do exciting stuff that
very
that you're going to see in the next build that comes out. So
We kind of make this look easy, but this isn't easy, right, Kevin?
it is not easy. No. I mean, I think the most difficult problem that we've had to solve in forever is the destructible objects. Like you can break everything practically in this city. Well, there was this huge bug that was just killing us on that, and it's not on us. It's in the engine, and so we've been working with the Epic engineers to help figure out what was going on, and then help figure out a solution with them. They've been working with us to solve it, but no, none of this is easy. I mean, especially because now, like, also this build is on Unreal 5.2, which is brand spanking new, and that was not an easy lift to get it from 5.1 to 5.2, but it was worth it. There's a lot of good stuff under the hood that the new engine does that lets us do, but no, kids don't try this at home.
Yeah,
we were
being on the front end of all that, being on 5.2 and everything, you are going down a path that, there's
And the razor's edge.
hurdles that you don't know, they're unforeseen hurdles, and it takes teams like ours to hit them to see what's out there and try to work through them and work with Epic to work through them. And it's kind of that the untraveled path. You just got to go for it and see what happens. And sometimes,
Yeah, exactly. All this stuff the first time. Like, I mean, nobody at Epic knew. It's like, hey, if you go and put an object with a replicated state, which is any destructible object, in a world partition level, and you let that level stream it out, and then try to stream it back in, the replication is going to be all screwed up, and the object is going to disappear on you, or it's not going to be able to take damage. And just nobody knew. It's like, whoops,
exactly.
This brand new world partition system that was introduced with Unreal 5, and it's a fantastic system. But nobody's flexed it this hard yet.
And that's the hard part about game development, having the deadlines and targets that we're hitting. You sometimes hit these things that could be showstoppers, and you got to find ways to work around them. You got to find ways to get to be a little more agile with it. And one of them is Carl just doesn't sleep, unfortunately. So thank you, Carl. Big shout out to Carl for never sleeping and getting stuff done.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly.
What happens if you don't kind of like sleep for 2 weeks? Well, that's the
We'll
AI.
see.
Well, that's
It's
the
an
AI
experiment.
Think
Well,
permanently.
have you seen
wake up
Fight
outside
Club?
in Cooleyland. Yeah.
So yeah,
I think some of the best ideas come out in that kind of twilight, kind of hazy, kind of
Hellscape.
sleep deprived.
Yeah,
version.
no sleep for
But just
2
to be-
weeks, and then
Just to
Tyler
be clear,
Durden in the house.
All right. Anyway,
but
back to the program.
Epic's been a very good partner. We have
Oh,
there's
they've
no
been
slam against
fantastic.
Epic. They've been 100% supportive.
Yeah.
But it just tells us that we're doing things that no one else in the world has done. We're in 5.2. We're playing around with all kinds of builds, pushing the boundaries. And yeah, all the really kind of nerdy stuff that Kevin's pointing out. There are certain destructibles that you can't put on certain parts of the map.
We fixed that now.
It's all
All
fixed.
right, there you
Okay,
go.
there were certain invisible lines that you guys couldn't see.
Lost 2 fingers and a toe fixing it, but
So what you guys are telling me is that not only are we building a kick-ass game, we're also making Unreal Engine more robust too in the process.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
helping
There you
Epic
go.
in the process.
Well, there's something else that we were just talking. Kevin and I were just kind of chatting right before we went online here, and said something insightful. It's like anybody can make a good-looking game that runs slow or doesn't. You can kind of fake certain things to a certain extent. It is very difficult to make a kick-ass, beautiful-looking game that also runs smoothly and fast and has all of this stuff actually integrated correctly.
Yes.
What you guys have built, and just amazing credit to the game team. You guys have just been absolutely fucking crushing it.
Oh
man.
yeah, well, and shout out to like Quinn and Cade and Keenan and all those folks for like learning how to do this so well, because it's hard. It is really, really hard to make good looking art that runs fast. Like Wes just said, really easy to make it look great and run slow, or look shitty and run fast. But to make it look really good and run fast, that's the expert territory. And there's so much under the hood learning that you just have to learn about how the real-time renderer works, and what's going to be fast and what's going to be slow.
And people become experts. I mean, I think there's this fallacy that you only need to hire experts to make games like this happen.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff is so new, there are no experts out there.
Yeah.
And so you just have to say, well, what team do we have, and go for it. And then in 6 months, all of a sudden, you realize the team is full of experts.
Yeah, it's attitude. Attitude is everything. Like my hiring mantra is attitude, aptitude, and ability in that order of importance. You know, if somebody's got the right attitude and they've got the aptitude, like, I mean, they're trying to do something that, you know, it's got the wiring to do. I don't care if they know it yet. They're going to learn it. Yeah. And meanwhile, I'd rather have that than an expert with a bad attitude who thinks they already know it, because that person's not going to grow. And game development moves way too fast. If you were expert last month and you think you know it all, you're done, you know, because you're not expert this month anymore.
All right. So just kind of going back into the game, like, you know, I previously mentioned we're really getting ourselves ready for a public outing of this early access alpha. Talk to us a bit about what that means, because, you know, we're throwing our hat in the ring. We're putting ourselves out there publicly and saying, come and check this game out. We're not hiding behind trailers or closed access demos anymore. We're actually going to go out there. We're confident. We're proud of what we created. We think it's got the goods to really kind of stand out there. So tell us a bit about the process now to get us into a public early access alpha twin turbo. Or maybe I don't know what we're going to call it, but we'll have to go back to the naming department. And what can we expect? Are we expecting more patches before then? Are we expecting certain uplifts, different elements of game modes, parts of the map? Like, tell us a bit about what to expect in the coming few weeks.
I would like to do one more insiders patch before the formal release, because that allows us to test out. There's a lot of new stuff that we have in our internal build that's not even in this one. I know this build just went out a couple of days ago, but we've already got like a bunch more stuff, and so I want to get another build out if we can to test that. So I'd say should expect that we'll do that, because we need to. And meanwhile, we're going to be head down, building stuff.
Yeah, so that's why this day-night cycle.
Tell us a bit about what to expect then in the public alpha. Like, what's going to be different from now to then?
So public alpha, I mean...
You mean the public pre-alpha?
Public pre-alpha, absolutely. I know.
Public pre-alpha,
I'm on these guys all the time.
Well, let's talk about that distinction, yeah.
Okay, so alpha means feature complete. Feature complete but still has bugs. Pre-alpha means there's still more coming, and definitely there's a lot more cool stuff coming. For the September release, what's going to be in there? I mean, we've got proper stat tracking on the back end. So, like in the build that you got right now, every time you start up, you're back at 0 experience points and level 1. That's not going to be the case anymore. It's going to remember that stuff. It's going to remember things you've collected, all the rest of these, just your KD ratio and just all the stuff that kind of matters for player progression. That's in there. The Coinpocalypse game mode, that we should have that in. I think we're gonna. Yeah. Of course, there's being able to buy outfits and put them on your character, so you're not just running around in your tidy whities all the time.
Yeah, character customization.
Yeah. So it's customization, progression, tons and tons and tons of gameplay improvements, but also the new game mode. And a lot of back-end stuff. I mean, I'm mostly focused on the back-end stuff right now, just getting everything talking to the servers.
Yeah, making sure it's all working properly.
Yeah. I mean, it's not always the glamorous stuff, but it's the stuff that makes us able to do the really fun stuff, which is, player progression really means something. It's not just starting over every time, and then you get to brag about, being the highest level player in the community. Whoever it is.
Lord
Victor.
All right, so definitely sounds like there's a lot to look forward to. New gameplay modes, more map extensions, a marketplace, customization of your character, a lot more efficiency. Definitely looking forward to that, and hopefully we'll be getting that out in the coming weeks. So up until then, continue sending in your feedback. We are checking it all out, and we are going through it.
Feedback and posting the videos, the best thing.
Yeah.
I love going on our Twitter feed and just seeing all these videos that are created from the community, seeing everybody up there, just making their own content. It is so cool to see it, because you all create content in a different way than we do in-house. So when we actually get to see how you're playing it and what's happening, it's really motivating to see. I mean, I was in there last night playing around. I got rocked for like an hour and a half. So
Yeah, there's some good players.
yeah, man.
Just
I
one
got to
guy
hide
named
my
Wood
victory.
We were on a pitch, and
Yeah, I was on
he's
the
like,
pitch
let
last
me
night,
show you
man.
the
I just
game. He's
kept
playing, and he
rocked.
we look at the leaderboard. You're right at the bottom. Yeah. That pitch didn't go successfully.
Our ability to raise
Say, well, the
money is
games developers
correlated
can't.
to
They're not even the best at their own game.
as a player.
Anyway, so just a couple. We are going to go into meet the team, but a couple of. I want to introduce you to a team member you've not met yet. But a couple of questions for you, Colin. Like, tell us a bit about this cinematic look we've got going on here, because it really does look heaps better than the previous version. It kind of looks like you are playing in like an animated feature now.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple tricks that we use in film all the time, which is just directing the eye. Your eye is going to go to the area of highest contrast, and so we had a couple of little messy things in the last build where there's some very dark areas in the distance. I mean, essentially, it seems like it's increasing fog, but it's also making things less busy, so that our eye is going where it should, which is the character. And so that's been the main thing.
Is that a good segue into the cinematic trailer?
That could be. I mean, we have this kick-ass trailer that we're working on that we're really, really proud of, and it really holds up to, I think, anything out there in terms of feature film quality. And behind the scenes, what you guys don't see is just all the hard work and all the emails and all. I mean, from the technical stuff. I mean, Kevin's team. It's so funny. It takes these AMAs for Kevin and I to even get caught up, right? Because it's like it feels like 6 weeks since I've been in one of these last ones. But these guys are heads down in terms of like error logs. I mean, their messages have gone from like, hey, how was your weekend, to like, here's 10 pages of an error log. Check it out. And so these guys are really, really deep in that. On the other side of things, we've been very, very deep in the look and feel of the cinematic, but also pushing our relationships with NVIDIA. We have a very good relationship with NVIDIA right now. Pushing our relationships with AI. The progress we're making with the AI front is incredible, and we'll talk more about that. But that's just completely exploding, and I'd love to see anyone out there who is even close to doing the kind of quality, the kind of fully animated quality of our AI chatbot.
Show us if you find it.
So there's so many things going on behind the scenes that are equally as important as this game that you're not seeing right now, but it all relates.
Definitely.
Yeah, totally.
It's all under one ecosystem of the highest quality real-time animation in the world. And whether it's video game, feature film, real-time AI chatbots, these things are all folding together.
Absolutely. And some of these partnerships that you guys have been working on are really amazing. They're not quite at the status or kind of level of Applebee's, but they're close.
The bee.
And we talk about this a lot as well, Luke. We talk about, we're not just out here creating a game or a Web3 game. We're out here creating new tools and technology that were embedded into the game to enhance the game player's experience and enhance the relationship with the character and the immersiveness of the game, which are applicable even outside of our game. So we get a lot of people who are interested in licensing some of this technology that we're putting in the game, a lot of interest in it, because we want to stand out amongst traditional games as well. And in order to do that, we have to bring something new to the table. We have to bring fresh things to the table, and that's why we're really investing a lot of time in research and development on these cutting edge technologies to input them into the game as well. So when somebody comes in who's a traditional gamer, they're not like, well, I can play this or I can play 10 other games that are out there as well. They're like, okay, let me try this new feature that's not in any other game right now. And we've got a few of those. And the blockchain element is, it's also a beautiful part of this game, and it's there for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Right.
The main thing is make a fun game first, embed new tools and technologies that are cutting edge, and actually give people what they want in terms of their assets, provenance, and real kind of player ownership of their data. That's what we're here to do, and that's what we're achieving. Anything you want to say before we allow you all to meet a very special team member of ours, Fiona?
I think that sums it up.
I think that's pretty spot on. I don't know. Wes, anything you want to say before we got to hand off the mic?
No, just I love you all. I appreciate it. And welcome, Fiona. What up?
Who do you wait, Wes?
I'm sorry.
Who do you love more, your new baby or the carrot gang? Who's also your baby? On the spot now, brother.
I'm going to say that's a static equal. I love you all.
All right, here you go.
Right?
All right,
What up,
meet Fiona. Let's go.
Yeah.
Woo!
Hey, Fiona. So
All
this
right,
is one of my
Fiona,
favorite people in the
Fiona.
studio. No offense. all the other people in the studio.
Hello.
Don't worry, that your secret is safe with us. Colin. Nobody will ever know.
So this is Fiona. This is a wonderful teammate we've had here for a year and a half now.
Yeah, year and a half.
Yay.
Welcome, Fiona.
Welcome,
Thank
Fiona.
you so much.
So
Great to be here. I've made it.
you have-
Truly. I'm here on the couch.
I see Skyhopper leaning over.
I was just going to say, this is proof that we do have more than 4 people at the studio.
Yeah, exactly.
We have at least
We have
5.
5.
And we
least.
hired you off of Fiverr, right? That was for,
Oh, yeah, totally.
of course.
Like
Yeah.
everyone, we hire
Like
everyone off of
everyone.
Fiverr.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
how we find people.
Yeah, that's we all came from Fiverr.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yes.
definitely.
Yeah.
So Fiona, you were hired as in one position, and then you kind of morphed into being an expert of all these other kind of positions. Tell us about your background and what do you do now?
Yeah, so I was hired as an intern. I just
Yay.
graduated from Azusa Pacific University with animation. And so I started as an intern. I did a lot of cleanup on our mocap shoots and a little bit of everything. And then tried some other things and
Design. I mean, you had an
design.
interest in
Yeah,
design.
I got to do some concept art. I actually did some modeling, a lot of modeling for the Zuckbot line,
Yeah.
actually. So like the QT football helmet and a couple other things, which I'm pretty proud of. And then it kind of came up that there was a need for more work on the UI, the user interface, the menus, buttons, the HUD of the video game. And I was like, I like art and video games. Maybe I can
Yeah.
take a shot at it. And since then, I have become the UI UX artist for the game.
Well, and it's more than just that too, because it's UI using the Lyra system, which was the latest and greatest thing
Yes.
that no one knew how to do, and so it was kind of like, hey, Fiona, do you want to just jump into the deep end of the pool? And not only that, then I see Kevin emailing her, courses on C++ coding. You've never coded before, is that correct?
I actually took a high school class about JavaScript, and that was it. So, not really much experience.
Yeah. So she is currently our UI expert in Lyra, and I would say that you'd be hard pressed to find someone more experienced in Lyra UI interfaces than Fiona.
Well, thank you. It's certainly dark magic,
Yes.
very dark magic, and I was certainly thrown into the deep end, and I quickly went from how do I put a button on the screen for a YouTube tutorial to the deep, dark, Unreal developer network posts, like chatting with, Unreal devs themselves, being like, how do I do this really deep, dark, magical thing? And it's actually been a lot of fun.
And a lot of the stuff too that you're working on, we haven't really been showing to the public yet because
That's true.
It is a really cool unveiling that will come out, very soon here. And it's incredible to see the stuff that you and the team have been putting together. It's fun, and I think it'll take people, at least especially in the gaming community, to kind of like see that we're taking a little bit of a different stance on some things and having some fun with it.
Well, also, the menu is so fun that for me, I can understand people just wanting to hang out in the menu area because it's very animated.
so.
What you see here is a very solid game, and it's people are saying correctly that it's like playing a video game, or it's like playing a video game that's an animated movie. However, what you're not seeing is how animated these characters really can be. We don't have the VTuber up on the screen right now, but that's a huge element of this game that's built into the foundation. All these characters have a ton of controls all over their faces and their bodies. They're built to be animated. So one of my favorite things is yet to come, which is this kind of social media gathering, hanging out in chat rooms, hanging out in Roni's Cafe, hanging out for concerts and for live venues, the movie theater. So there's so much animation that's yet to come. Now that we have the foundation that's solid, now the real fun begins. And so we're just scratching the surface, but seeing the menus gives us an opportunity to see these characters close up, fully animated, and just play around with just different wearables.
Mm-hmm.
That alone feels like its own thing that's like very exciting and extremely entertaining. So I can't wait to share that aspect with the Carrot Gang, because I think it's going to actually reach out to people that are interested in not just simply running around shooting things, but just interacting with a character in real time. And there might even be some future AI elements added to that, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you guys to see what we've been working on with the menus, because we haven't really put any of that in the public builds yet. But a lot of the stuff that they talked about earlier, character customization, the marketplace, storefront. There's so much really that we just haven't shown yet, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it, especially because I'm the sort of person who will spend hours just customizing my character in a video game, and I get a real kick out of customizing the hooligan. So
Yeah.
if you like that, I think you'll like this too.
Very well put. What are you most excited for? Maybe you just said it, but what are you most excited for this new patch coming out in September?
Well, there is a lot to be excited for, but definitely for the menus to go out and to start seeing. I can't wait to see the outfits and the hooligans that people customize.
I know. Yeah.
One thing that, are we allowed to talk about other video games? Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Do so disparaging.
Yeah. Well, the horrible people at Bungie with their horrible video game Destiny, they'll often hold fashion contests on their
that's
Twitter
cool.
and just put
That's
out
really
calls
cool.
for
Yeah.
the
Oh,
coolest
yeah.
combinations
Yeah.
of outfits and colors, and I think we should do something like that too, because we have it's a very versatile system. Like, it's not just like Fortnite where it's just one skin that applies to your whole character. No, it's your fur, it's your eyes, it's your teeth, it's your hat, it's your shirt,
Yeah.
and a couple
Yeah.
other things too. So there's going to be some wild combinations.
It is, and even like a lot of the stuff that we talk about is how much can we release, when do we release it, what's that process of releasing it, and I think Colin and I are always on the same page of just like everything at once, and then some other people have to tell us to pull it back.
Yeah,
a
no,
little bit,
I'm keeping myself from spilling the beans on a lot of the really great outfits, the wearables that are coming your way really soon. They're
Yeah.
so fun and creative, and I think that's what the team is just doing
it's
constantly.
silly,
They're
it's
following
weird,
the
It is.
fun.
It's
yeah,
I mean,
great.
it's keeping it weird. It's fun.
keeping it weird, and
Yeah.
then to know that you can mix and match elements of these
Yeah.
together is incredible. So
Well, and too, when you walk around, like, and you just see, like, what's on, like, Cheryl's or Anna's monitor, and you kind of start to see, like, oh, wow, there's some real fun things you can really start to expand on here. And, yeah, it's the possibilities are endless, really. And, it's just about, getting it out there, building upon that, and keeping it rolling out, and, keeping it weird.
absolutely.
That's a great way of putting it. Keeping it weird.
Yeah.
That's
I
what I
can't-
like about this game.
Yeah.
We don't take ourselves too seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a Kevin Mack quote there, keeping it weird. So I can't
Right,
coin
yeah.
that one.
Keep it
But
weird.
it's the truth, though. It is.
It's also like, Fiona, you've kind of got the opportunity to do what you wanted to do in this organization. So, it's almost a testament to the culture that's in AMGI Studios as well. You can do absolutely anything you want to do. You can be as innovative as you want. You can bring your own ideas to the table, and you can really achieve greatness, not only as part of a team, but for yourself as well, and kind of gain that experience. A big shout out to the AMGI management and the kind of culture over here as well. It is a great place to work, and hopefully, we'll get many more new individuals in the building too soon. So
Yeah, the people
Sound-
here are great. I can confirm that.
there you go.
That they are.
So it
That they are.
definitely
Thank you.
sounds like there's a lot to look forward to. New game modes, new parts of the marketplace, character customization, new UI, new partnership announcements, new cinematic trailer, new tools and tech. So definitely excited for what the next few weeks bring. In terms of other updates, we do still have the feature development underway. We do have a Hollywood agent attached to that. The Zuckbot's new contract on Polygon is complete. The K-Gold shop is also complete. We're just working on the best time to deploy these right now. A lot of the focus is really on getting this game ready for an early access public outing, and that's where a lot of the kind of resources is at right now, and also on the R&D side to ensure that we've got the tools and tech behind this game to really support the user's experience. Like I say, we're not just trying to create a game here, we're trying to create a new wave of playing a game, a new way to interact with a game, a new way to experience gameplay and actually personify and be part of the game. So that's what we're trying to do over here. That's our ultimate goal, not just building a game. So I think it's time for anything else you wanted to add there, but I think it's time for some Q&As. Sure. I've not really got the screen up right now, but if anybody's tracking YouTube or Discord, give us a shout, see if anything's coming out. And I know you definitely wanted to touch on a bit of stuff on the AI side of things as well, Colin.
Yeah, sure. We have a lot of that stuff we could demo. We've been really pushing the boundaries, both in terms of quality of the characters, but also real-time information. As you guys know, ChatGPT is only accurate to like the last 2.5 years. So we wanted to change that and say, how do we make sure these things can answer any question about current information? So perhaps we could dive in and show you some of that stuff, which is bleeding edge once again. Also, I want to mention that some of the toys that we're playing with recently, the R&D toys, are hopefully going to put an end to just the iPhone being able to control your character. We want to be able to have these characters controlled by webcam, if you choose to have that feature turned on, so that all these characters are always animated, and we're implying the AMGI technology, so these characters are not just wiggling. Everyone else out there, there's just a bunch of static characters which is wiggling heads. We're not that. On a couple levels, we don't want to be creepy humans. The closer you get to an actual human, the creepier they look. So staying in the character, the Disney, Pixar kind of lane in terms of design helps. But more than that, the animation of these characters, we always want to make sure they're extremely animated. So hopefully there's a universal solution coming soon with these characters. But even more than just a game, when people describe this as a game, I kind of nod my head and I smile and say, okay, that's a great box to put it in right now. But I do think of this as, especially when we get into the marketplace, I do think of this as more like a way to communicate with other people through a character. As we all know, maybe you don't know, but one of the sayings at Pixar was that stories are 22 times more effective to convey information than words alone. So stories are how we retain information, and characters are the key component in stories. And the key component in characters are the eyes. And so we're checking all those boxes. We want to make sure that this is a marketplace that is very vibrant and very personalized to your individual character and your personality. So that's kind of where this stuff is going. And you mix AI into the mix, and things get really weird. But I'm very optimistic.
Did you have something to show us?
Yeah, sure. Let's do
it. Let's see before we kind of.
I got one question here. Where's Shrek?
Where is Shrek?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. DreamWorks, maybe? Try to guess.
Shrek.
So let's see. So this is a character. Let me see, named Blitz, and it's just a fun, fun, goofy mascot that we're kicking around for some of our friends at the Seahawks. And this is just a little silly thing, but what this version has is connection to the internet in real time. So I don't know. Maybe they can ask a question, something that's very current, but I could just say, tell me the latest AI news at SIGGRAPH. Oh, sorry, let me turn up the volume. Tell me the latest AI news at SIGGRAPH. So what it's going to do is tell you the information and bring up some hot links.
Or just dance around.
This is like when Elon Musk threw a sledgehammer.
Tell me the latest Elon Musk tweets.
Sledgehammer at the Cybertruck.
NVIDIA recently made exciting announcements at the SIGGRAPH event. They introduced new AI chips and software solutions during their keynote. It seems like they are pushing the boundaries of generative AI platforms and industrial digitization. They showcased advancements in GPUs and accelerated computing. It's great to see companies like NVIDIA driving innovation in the AI field. Elon Musk has been active on Twitter lately. In one of his tweets, he expressed excitement about the great product engineering and design sessions with the X team, hinting at a bright future. He also recommended the Explorers podcast, where he's currently learning about Ibn Battuta, a widely traveled Islamic explorer. Additionally, he mentioned the Starship Super Heavy booster and thanked Zach Kirkhorn for his contributions to Tesla. It's always interesting to see what Elon Musk shares on Twitter.
This guy sounds like he's moving like he's had 4 cans of Prime.
Yeah. It's like an old car. It's hard to get started, but once it gets started, it just keeps going. So anyway, so what you're seeing here, I don't see anyone else doing right now, but it's super animated, super sophisticated, and then of course we have other versions where it's just the old standard kind of tell us a poem, tell us this or that. We're having fun putting these characters in actual scenes, actual animated scenes where. I think we've kicked around the idea earlier, what happens when 2 of these characters can talk to each other? And that's a lot of fun to just kind of let these things go and see what they do. Sometimes it surprises us as well. Here we go. So this is Dill and Blue Bob at a cafe.
There. How are you today? May I ask who I have the pleasure of speaking with? And what would you like to talk about?
So I can interrupt their conversation and give them new topics to talk
about the Carrot Gang.
Ah, me hearty. I be doing well on the high seas. How about ye?
So this is all
You be chatting with
automated.
Captain Bartholomew.
Yes, this is
He
all
was
AI.
all
It's
over
just them talking
100%
about whatever
AI.
they want to talk
This side
about.
of the
Do
seven
you know what the
seas.
Carrot Gang
Not
is?
pre-recorded.
What we can
They
talk
won't know
about.
what this
I
is
be a
because
man
this
of
is
many
this is the version of
tales.
2.5 years
Discuss the thrill of the open
old. But
water,
we'll see what they
search
say.
for hidden treasure, or even share a hearty sea shanty. What be your fancy, matey? Ah, the Carrot Gang, you say? Aye, I've heard tales of them. They be a sneaky bunch of vegetable villains, terrorizing the seas with their mischievous antics. But mark me words, matey, I ain't one to meddle with such matters. Me focus be on the wind in me sails and the treasures of the deep.
Yeah, there you go.
So there you
Carrot
go.
Gang.
So the camera's
Oh, there,
automated.
matey.
So the idea is that this is automated
The Carrot Gang,
content,
we say,
and so now
aye,
we're
they be quite the infamous
we're
bunch.
improving some of
But
the
fear not, me hearty. We can set
efficiencies.
sail on a
We're getting rid of some of the delays, but the goal is like to make truly Pixar quality animation in real time. So every day, if we had an AMA tomorrow, we'd show you new stuff. That's already a big improvement from this. So every day we're making huge progress, and this is a lot of fun.
What's really cool about this too is that you can send a text prompt that will send off the animation in different directions. You could have a voice prompt that does the same thing. You can program the characters in to have their own scenes in there. I mean, this thing is getting so powerful that it's wild. Now, of course, we're using this all for our NPCs in game, and as we developed that, we saw, oh man, there's a massive world outside of just the in-game NPCs that this could really be used for. And you know, we've been doing the development on it, and more things are coming out of our development on it that soon will be announced. But yeah,
Consider-
very exciting stuff
We
here.
kind of gloss over this stuff, but this is real amazing cutting
It
edge.
is. It's
Amazing
cutting edge
technology.
technology. This has the ability to change the animation space forever. And I think that, you know, it's a big statement to say, but you know, it takes little steps like this that really are big steps in, you know, in you know, the full scope of things.
So for all you guys, you know, how much, you know, I know we were just saying earlier how appreciative we are of all of you making content out there. You know, when eventually we get this into your hands, you guys are, you know, hopefully be able to make, you know, more Huli shorts and things. You know, we're trying to make that process of you guys making your own animation with your own characters.
Yeah,
as
in real,
seamless and easy as
in real
possible.
broad strokes, these things are
That's
your
gonna be crazy.
personal-
Just
these
even
things are
s-
your
Yeah.
assistants. These things can make your own movie reviews. They could sound a lot smarter than you do, and they don't stumble over ideas like I do. They can actually speak in about 30 different languages fluently.
Yeah.
And so these things can either represent you to make content, or you can use these as a smarter version of yourself in terms of Zoom calls,
Well-
real-time interviews.
And there's some pretty cool things that Colin and I had a little conversation right before we got on here. Like, well, maybe let's not let that cat out of the bag yet. So I would say keep a close eye on what's coming here in the next like month or so. But
That's
you know,
almost a leak.
it has to do with AI. It has to do with My Pet Hooligan. It has some really fun applications that we're currently testing out behind the scenes that I think everybody will be very, very excited to test out and play with, and you know, push it forward.
One
Yeah.
last note on a comment I saw here in YouTube. Just big shout out to SV as well. Apparently, they've been making just amazing content, and just wanted to say we appreciate it very, very much. So
Yeah.
there you
Yeah,
go.
thank you.
very much.
But the possibilities with what you're showing are literally endless, right? The possibilities of content creation, what you can do with the tools, it's crazy. And like, you know, sometimes we need to take a step back and, you know, everything we're doing and all this R&D, whether it's the facial motion capture technology, whether it's these AI animated bots and the ability for them to just engage with each other, like all of this is going into the game. Like I want you to, you know, this is for the Carrot Gang and anybody listening in. Think of the absolute potential of all of this as it kind of pieces into this one ecosystem, the opportunities it presents, the ability for you to kind of engage and be part of this immersive world where things are remembered, where information's retained. It's going to be absolutely epic and amazing. Like, you know, we kind of got to really think about how this all pieces together. Like you're seeing, you know, bits and pieces here, it's because we literally are building blocks, doing R&D, and we're starting to kind of integrate those all together. So this is really what it's all about. It's like, yes, you've got the game, but you've also got these technologies. And imagine when all that pieces together in this one immersive world. So, you know, a lot of people out there who talk about, you know, they're creating an open world, they're creating a metaverse. Like, we're actually doing all the little building blocks and piecing them together. And ultimately, when you talk about these digital universes, it's what you're going to create yourselves and what people are going to kind of enjoy together. So
It's playing the long game.
Think about the long game, think about the building blocks, and think about everything that's coming, because we truly are innovating, we truly are at the cutting edge, and we are going to make the baddest experience out there for you. The biggest and best. By baddest, I mean good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
That's
that's the UK
very,
ghetto
very
side of
spot
it.
on. Yeah, and we're playing the long game with all the pieces of technology we're building that we're rolling into the game and other applications. And hey, one step at a time. But this is how you build the future.
I mean, some of the big applications too we haven't mentioned are education or public service interaction. People that old people's homes, nursing homes, people that need somebody to talk to, and there's not a human always around. And yet, there's nothing that substitutes a real human. But in lieu of that, these things are certainly very entertaining, and they're a more convenient way to get information across and to engage with something face to face. So I think the future is really bright. So when people say, "Oh, you're making a game," we're like, yeah, but it's a lot more than that. But for now, if you want to call it a game, great. That's a good box to put in. It's a fun game. But I think it's much bigger than that.
We are the future of animated technology. That's all.
Totally.
That's the new strap line. Anyway, we've got to go over to Q&A now. So what we're tracking out here, Wes, any questions coming through? Anything coming through on Discord?
It's pretty quiet right now on the.
I think everyone's just in awe.
Yeah, of YouTube right now. But I don't know, anything over in Discord?
Yeah, anyways for hooligan holders to invest in AMGI round. Nothing. No. We got NFTs Hooligan and Emerson. No, as far as your question in regards to hooligan holders being able to invest in AMGI round, nothing. No information on that as of right now, or not this moment. But we'll let you guys know.
They're already investors.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, the only way to get exposure there is the NFTs.
Okay, cool. IMI wallet connection fix. We'll have to come back to that. Anybody aware of that? And actually, whilst we're thinking about that one, this new technology that we're now going to use will mean we won't need an Android or iPhone, right? And
That's
you can
correct.
just use your webcam. So everybody who was waiting on an Android version, you don't need to wait any longer because we've got an even better.
We got some
fix.
pretty cool things that are in development that I think will solve a lot of problems across the board. So especially with the IMI wallet connection. Sorry if you're having an issue with that right now. What we have been working on hopefully solves a lot of these issues here. So please be patient.
When token, soon token. We're definitely going to talk a little bit more about the token on the reverse AMAs. So tune into the next one. It'll either be this coming Thursday or the one after. Likely this coming Thursday. So definitely kind of tune into that if you want to learn more about that, where we can really kind of get into the details on what's coming there. Anything else filtering through?
I see SV was asking how soon till proximity chat. Proximity chat is going to be in the voice chat, so we started work on that, but we got to do a bunch of foundation stuff to get this release ready. But when we release the voice chat, which I believe is going to be the first patch after September, proximity chat is part of that.
Okay,
Very
amazing. All right, Mac devices. Any update on Mac devices?
Yes, that was one of the reasons why we had to move on to Unreal 5.2 because 5.2 now supports native compilation for Apple Silicon, which means that we can do proper hybrid builds, where previously we were limited to Intel Silicon builds, and the Apple Silicon had to run in an emulation mode, which was not fast. So I do build this for Mac. We're going to hold off on releasing it for Mac until we're happy with its performance on Mac, because one of the things that Epic is working on right now is nanite support for Mac, and they've announced that they believe they're going to have that in Unreal 5.3, but 5.2 and 5.1 they don't support nanite on Mac, which means that we have to use the old school LODs for our models on the Mac, which means that experience doesn't run as fast and it doesn't look quite as good. And we don't want to shortchange you guys. We want to give you a proper experience of this game, and we know we can. So
all a part of the development process.
Yeah, but I build this for the Mac. Anytime we do a build, I do the Mac build as well, and making sure that we're maintaining compatibility with it. It's there's a combination of an art lift and a technology lift that we got to do to get it there. But one of the big things was being able to support all of the Mac platforms natively, and now we have the ability to do that with the next Unreal release. We should have the ability to use nanite on Mac, and that should unlock that for us. But it's forefront of our mind to get that there. But we want to do it right.
Are
PlayStation controllers? Are PlayStation controllers currently supported?
Yes, they are. Yeah, Carl plays on a PlayStation controller. I play on an Xbox controller or
That's
a mouse
why he
and
doesn't
keyboard.
sleep.
Yeah.
I hear the real experts prefer the mouse. Is that true?
You can turn faster on a mouse and keyboard, but I've seen some really, really good, gamepad players. So, it used to be that like a mouse and keyboard player would just crush a gamepad player,
It's
but
debatable.
I don't think that's the
It's
case
debatable.
anymore. Also, we've put a lot of tuning into the gamepad controls, and thank you, shout out to Beto and your whole crew for giving us such incredibly good feedback on that stuff to help us get that tuned and make sure that it feels the way we really need it to feel. Because we don't want there to be a disparity. We want you to be able to play the way you like to play, and it takes a lot of work to do that, though.
Any other questions trailing in?
Win more Hooli playing cards soon, hopefully.
Yeah, soon.
Yeah, we do have the K Gold shop. It is ready to go. We will deploy that when we're ready to deploy it, and we do have some inventory ready to go there as well. So more updates to come on that soon. However, I think that brings us to the end of this live stream. Definitely tune into our next reverse AMA. That's when we can really kind of get into the more detail, in-depth stuff. So look forward to that. But just a huge shout out to everybody, everybody who's kind of part of this journey with us, everybody who's playing the game, everybody who's talking about us, doing threads, everybody who's introducing new individuals into our ecosystem. Like, this means a lot to us, and ultimately, word of mouth is always the best marketing. So continue doing what you're doing, enjoy what we're putting out in the meantime. Keep telling everybody about the access, the alpha, get everybody signed up to the wait list. Let's really kind of spread the word, because we are doing some revolutionary cutting edge stuff out here, and we want the world to really kind of have fun and engage with our ecosystem. We've got a long journey ahead of us. We've got a lot of new builds coming, a lot of stuff to get really excited about, and a lot of things for our NFT holders and our community as well. So expect a lot. Delivery is always underway. We're always delivering. We're always working our asses off, and we will continue to do so for you all. So big shout out to you all and everybody contributing to our growth out there too. Any final words from yourselves, guys and gals?
Thank you very much to the Carrot Gang as always, and thanks for always supporting us. Keep creating content. We love to see it. We're always watching, and keep sending feedback.
Yeah, my favorite thing is seeing your videos and the music you guys add, the different creativity, the different reviews you give. That's like fuel for us right now. So keep it coming.
Thank you.
We love you all.
Fiona?
Yeah, great stuff. Nice to meet you guys. I hope to be on here again.
Good stuff.
I was wondering, do we ever do any like really corny outros for the AMA? Like we're in the news.
We end
I
like
think-
a hooly hoo.
I think we're about to do
We
it
have
now.
not yet
Can we
been
do one?
corny, but
Okay,
maybe
so
it's
I'm
corny
gonna say
time.
something dumb, and then you're all gonna like smile at the camera. Okay, can we do
Okay.
that?
All right. Freeze
Yeah.
frame it. All right.
All right. And we're AMGI, and innovation is our game.
Did we go out?
Does that work?
I think it worked. I don't know.